What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jay, aka Straight Drop Jay, and you're now watching Reason Gang TV. So today we're gonna go over the Aqueous X4 rack extension synthesizer slash Rompler by DNA Lab Software. Now this device is a Rompler, meaning it starts off with samples as its beginning wave engine. Its oscillator engine is a sample bank consisting of wave files, and it's a little different from an actual synth, which uses code only, and it'll probably kill your CPU doing that. So the good thing about Romplers is it's not hard on your CPU. It just there's just gigabytes of data to save on your hard drive. So if you have more space on your hard drive as opposed to a super strong CPU, a Rompler's for you. Also, Romplers are good, and their benefit is that you could start off with a dope sound really easy. Synthesizers pretty much give you a simple sound to start with, and you have to go deep into sound design just to actually get a really nice, dope, unique sound. So Romplers, the sound designer typically will design in a synthesizer very complex things, export it to a wave, and bring it into a Rompler. So you're starting with a nice base in sound design with a Rompler. But I prefer Romplers in most occasions, but sometimes I like synths, like when you're doing crazy new soundscapes and dubstep basses and growls. You're gonna want a synth because you need all the different modulation going just to get it at the right peak level of sounding really unique. In those certain instances like dubstep and stuff like that, wave-based Romplers are dope, but they're not as powerful. Now, in the sense of making like say like a trap song or like an R&B song, Romplers would be more efficient in giving you that nice the sound to start with. But anyways, let's get into details with the Aqueous X4. Let's go. What's up, YouTube? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go through the Aquios, and I'm gonna show you guys how to use it. And yeah, let's start off with the first patch in the factory sound bank, and I loaded up Drake's Vision. Let's see how that sounds. Now the second patch I loaded up was Cinematic Glory in the brass section. This is in the also in the factory sound bank. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice in the Aqueous is there's a big display right here. Now there's a bunch of instruments in this display, and each instrument has 4 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4. You turn them off and you turn them on right here. So for instance, all right, now we're in Electro Bit Crusher, so these are the other sounds. I'll go each individual. So all of them together come up with a layer. And let me turn it down a little. And you could basically scroll through these sounds and pick from the sounds that you like and mix and match. Not mix and match, but you could basically like edit and mute and solo each one to get different feels. So there's a lot of different feels, and each instrument is quad layered, hence the X4. So each X layer, basically they're in harmony with each other and they sound good together, but you don't have to keep them all on. You could just say you just like 2 of them or you want to pan them far left, far right. Maybe one in the middle. And you could get a bunch of different sounds straight out of the box with the presets and just playing around with just the layers. There's a pan parameter, volume parameter, on-off parameter. There's also semitones and centitones, which is per key, per note, and centitones are just very slight. Semis are a whole key. You could put semitones 12 up, and that's like an octave. It is an octave, not like an octave. All right. So we have our pitch selectors. We have our I'm saying patch selector. We have our instrument selector display, and we have our editing of the X layers. Now, to control the amp envelope of each one, this is how you select the amp. So X1 selected will control this. Say you wanted X2 to be a sharp start, but with a lot of release. Now say 3, you wanted it to have, let's turn this off, maybe like less of an attack. So now they're all different amp envelopes depending on which button you choose. It lets you give different amp envelopes. Okay, so let's go back. We have the delay right here. That's echo, that's global. On off right there. Offsets it by very small amounts to give you a little bouncy feel. Damp, of course you know what that is. It darkens it a little, the echo. Feedback, that's your decay, your feedback decay. Your time is, that is your tempo synced time of your echoes. Okay. You can hear it better with that on, that's why I put it. Your analog and your digital. Okay, this is a real cool feature. Analog adds a fatness to it. Listen real close. It also adds a harmonic distortion, so when turning it down you can't hear it as much. When you drive it, you'll hear it driving. But listen to that. Digital's clean, analog slightly fatter. Now if you overdrive it to have the volume up, you're gonna hear a little bit of distortion. But with digital, there's no distortion. You could hear it when we jam it a little. All clean. A little bit of analog feel. That gives you that analog tube feel. Okay, now equalizer, we have highs, mids, and of course lows. Very musical EQ. All the settings sound pretty good. You just set them to your taste. Okay, over here we have the reverb. Let's turn off the delay for a second. Let me put one of the layers so we can hear it better. Very musical reverb, ambience, your size parameter, your decay parameter, and of course your damping. We have low cut and high cut for added tweaking. And okay, let's go to a different sound. Let's go ahead and load a different patch up. That sounds cool. Okay, that's LFO pitched bells. Okay, so moving down to the next section. Oh, before we go there, we have modulation wheel. Air is a high pass filter. X fade will fade X1, X2 to X3, X4. Very cool trick. And submerge is a low pass filter similar to the hydro filter. Now we could engage 2 at the same time, or 3, to get even cooler effects. We have the main output right here, and let's continue to the AX4 quad filter. Right here we get to, this is a toggle switch to select which filter we want to engage. Of course X1 applies to the X1 channel, X2 would apply a different filter to the X2, and so on, respectively to the X channels. So we'll go through the first X channel. Now we get to pick our filter right here. High pass 12 drive, high pass 12. Band pass 6 drive, band pass 6. Low pass 12 drive, and low pass 12, my personal favorite. Cool mystique, like mystical bells. All right, now we have cutoff, resonance. Of course you guys know what those are. That's the cutoff frequency of the filter. Resonance is the resonance amount of the cutoff frequency, meaning it's a spike right there where the filter cutoff is applied, giving it a cool little juicy effect, watery effect. Okay, we have an LFO linked to this filter, and this is the amount, and your LFO parameters are right here. That's your speed, and this is your wave shape. So basically this is the shape that it's going to apply the LFO to. And that's how fast it'll go. We also have an envelope connected to the filter right here. That's the amount, and this is your envelope. Attack, decay, sustain and release. Okay, so we have also a GLFO, global LFO. Now we can shoot that LFO to key sync. We could shoot it to the LFO to pitch, which is right up here, and that's a cool effect because let me show you what it will actually do. You could actually change the pitch and have it wobble at this waveform at this speed. You could actually get some cool sounds. You could even get the the tape drift sound using the random or creative effects. This is low LFO to output. We have pitch range, and we have pitch envelope amount, which is also right here. So this envelope not only goes to the filter, but it also can be applied to the pitch. And your pitch LFO has a dedicated LFO right there. Let's juice it up with some more sounds. Let's get a different sound in here. Okay, switching up with the sound. I want to get another one. Okay, that's cool. All right, so we have the quad filter section and the main section already. Oh, we didn't show you pitch. Of course, this is the pitch wheel. I love that. And that's your pitch range right here. Editable up to 24. For cool, sort of like half-time sounds. But it doesn't slow down the time, it just slows down the pitch. Lowers the pitch. Okay, now we come to the AX4 FX suite. And this is a really interesting part because... Okay, I just threw in the cinematic glory just to give it a little feel. Let me turn it down in the background. Matter of fact, I'll turn it off. Okay, so down here, it works similar to the AX4 quad filter section. You can, for the X phaser, you could have the X1 be rooted in here. And you could turn off the X2 and just leave just the X1. Or you could have, whichever way you want to put it, you could have all of them on. And they'll all get applied here. And you just have to turn on and enable it. Say you just wanted X4 and X3 to run through there. But you wanted X1 and X2 layer to not be ran through it. See? X3 and 4 are running through the phaser. But say we want none running through it. We just want X2. So it's cool to run whichever effects you really just want running through there. You got your speed, depth, center, and feedback. Your mix level. And okay, so you got that. The X phaser, really cool sounding phaser, 4 channels to root inside or not. And we have the X gator, which is a gating effect. This works the same way. We'll turn this on. It's already on. You just root what you want to go in there. Instant gating. Now, this works a couple ways. You could use low pass or high pass. The cutoff will change your sound. Your speed changes the rate. This is your mix, of course. So you could get those cool watery gated effects. Juice up the delay, reverb. And you got some moving sounds going on. Now you can change the shape. square, ramp, triangle, sine. Now we come over here to the chorus, X. We could, the same way the phaser works, run whatever you want going in there. Let's turn these off so we can hear what's going on. Okay, so we're routing just X1 and X2 into here, and we're engage it. Now nothing's running through, now just X4. Just X3 and X4. You get what I mean. You could run whatever you want through it. Your speed, your depth, your delay, and your voice amount. All in all, you get pretty cool effects. When you make it real wet, it just sounds really cool. One of the tricks I like is panning stuff to give it some spatial depth. Yeah, that's pretty much the Aquios. Let's go through a couple different. We could go through the presets and just show you guys some of the sounds. That's angelic bells. I just changed it to change the instrument. Some pretty dope sounds in here, guys. Matrix Divinity. Bubbler bells. Aqua bells. Now there's a bunch of synth sounds and there's a bunch of actual instrument sounds like brass, royal gatherings. All glorious stuff. We have, let's go through the factory sound bank. We have a bunch of strings. The strings are pretty cool, I can't lie. Let's throw small spiccato. Wilhelm Akers. I can't even lie, Aquios has some of the best strings of DNA's whole arsenal. I can't even lie, there's just something about that era where it was being created that the strings took a priority. But let me load some different ones. The glory is ours. Reverse time. Crazy strings, man. Let's go to some polysynths. That's knocked off. What about jiggers in the trap? Jigging in the trap. Now there's a bunch of expansions too, because there's a huge ROM sound bank for this one, and there's basically unlimited amounts of sounds for this. But all of the refills are on DNALabSoftware.com. You'll see plenty of refills for all sounds, but we have a bunch for Aquios. Let's go to Nebula Trap Saw. Adderall Dreams, how about that? Opioid Schizophrenia. I'll go through a couple more. Here's a choir. flying entities. Darkness choir. Let's go to some pianos before we end this. See, so you see there's all like creative stuff, like, and there's some beautiful real instruments also included. There's gated. Let me show you a few gated before we close this. Realm 6. Square LFO saw. Future Trap Life. New planetary. Venomous feeling. And yeah, there's plenty more sounds included in this this factory sound bank. There's bass, bells, brass choirs, gated leads, pads, pianos, plugged polysynth, strings, and textures. I hope you guys enjoyed this overview and this tutorial of the Aqueous X4 workstation ROM rack extension by DNA Lab Software. Thanks you guys for watching, and until next time, Reason Gang for life. I'll see you later.